subject of the show is Ma'arat HaMachpelah. Ma'arat HaMachpelah, how many of you been there in Ma'arat HaMachpelah?
I went there the first time this year.
First time this year. Okay, so let's see if we know a little bit about the grave of the Patriarch. That's what you call it in English, am I right? The Patriarch grave. Patriarchs. Okay, the Patriarchs grave. Let's see if we know anything about it. And I'll tell you why I made the show. For two reasons. Number one is for our friend Shimon. We wish him refuah shlema, please God. Shimon ben Avraham. But the main reason, really the main reason that I chose that, because I don't know how many of you know about the UNESCO organization. You know about it? Okay. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Culture Organization. That belongs to the United Nations. 3 months ago, actually 4 months ago, a little bit more than 3 months, close to 4 months, they announced that Ma'arat HaMachpelah and the old city of Hevron is a Muslim heritage site underneath the occupation of the Israelis. And today, Be'ezrat Hashem, we try to show those bunch of anti-Semite, I call them especially anti-Semite, if it have anything to do with a Muslim. So let's start, first of all, the main thing that we're going to start today is with the origin of the name. When I speak about the origin of the name, I'm referring to the Hebrew name, Ma'arat HaMachpelah. So the source to it come from the Gemara in Masechet Eruvim. So now we're talking about 2,500 years ago. Islam was not even existed on that time. But we'll go step by step. In the Gemara Masechet Eruvim, page Nun Gimel Amud Aleph, that means 53, folio 1, Hazal explained, they given two reasons why it's been called Ma'arat HaMachpelah. Why did the name, the Patriarch grave, Ma'arat HaMachpelah? So the main reason, by the way, also, I have to mention that Rashi, HaKadosh, bringing the commentary on Parashat Hayei Sarah that we read last week in chapter 23, verse 9. And the main reason here, the first reason is that Hazal say, Bait ve'aliyah al gabar. That means a house and a loft room on top of it. What does it mean? A house and a loft room on top of the house. Doesn't make sense. What is one connected to each other? There's a lot connecting. And Hazal explained that Ma'arat HaMachpelah, Rabotai, what we see today, what you've been at Ma'arat HaMachpelah, that's not Ma'arat HaMachpelah, that's the top part of it. It's not what we're talking. The Ma'arat, the cave that we're talking, these two caves, one on top of each other. These two caves, one on top of each other. What we see today is the top structure. I'll speak about it just now when I get to it. What does it mean that there is a cave and underneath that there is another cave? And by the deeper cave, that's where the deceased been buried. Other explanation, shekfula bezugot. That means that there is a double couples there. You know who been buried in Ma'arat HaMachpelah? Adam ve'Hava. No? Help me. Adam ve'Hava, Sarah ve'Avraham, Yitzhak ve'Leah, Yaakov, Yitzhak ve'Rivka, Yaakov ve'Leah. Rachel is not buried there. Rachel been buried b'derech Bethlehem.
Esav's head there.
That's Esav's head. It's underneath the feet of Yaakov Avinu. You know the story? No, you don't know the story. When the 12 tribes come to bury Yaakov, Esav Rasha arrive. He say, hey, pass up, not so quickly. I'm the oldest son of Yitzhak. I'm supposed to be buried here. The son said to him, but you sell your firstborn to our father. He said, prove it. They say, listen, we come now from Egypt, all of us, to bury our father. He said, I don't care, I'm not going to allow it. So they say, what are we going to do? We need to go and bring the shtar. The shtar, it's the document that Yaakov Avinu and Esav have. So they send Naphtali. In the meantime, Dan have a son. His name is Hushin. Hushin was a heavy hearing. And he couldn't understand why the burial get delayed. And he got cross. So he asked one of the cousin, why? Why does it get delayed? I don't understand. What's going on here? So someone point to Esav and he say he delaying it. Hushin ben Dan got cross, took a stick of wood and hit him on the back of the neck. Esav fell on the floor. Yehuda finished the job by chopping his head. And the head rolled down to the feet of Yaakov. And Hazal say in the Midrash that Yaakov Avinu actually smiled. But I saw something else. There is another commentary that I saw it yesterday by Rabbi Avraham Azulai. Rabbi Avraham Azulai say that you know who else buried in Ma'arat HaMachpelah? That's the first time that I saw it yesterday when I was searching. Is, no, help me. Moshe Rabbeinu and Tzipora. Why? Because Ve'ish lo yada et kevurato. HaKadosh Baruch Hu bury him by the guy, mul bet peor. And they say that they move his body and Tzipora's body and he's buried there. But I saw it only with one commentary, as I mentioned, Rabbi Avraham Azulai. And he also buried. So from here we see, number one, that no other Muslim person buried him. Not even Ishmael, our cousin.
But that's a Hebrew.
Sorry?
It's that Abraham was the first Muslim.
I can't hear.
It's that Abraham was the first Muslim.
But wait, I don't understand. Islam started 400 years or 600 years after Christianity, if I'm not mistaken. Christianity started, you remember we done the show about Yoske, in a second temple. We're talking about 2,500 years ago, a bit more. Avraham Avinu, where was Islam? Okay, so far we prove that it has nothing to do with the Palestinian. Let's move on. Where is Ma'arat HaMachpelah situated? Hevron. Okay. So not many people know. I will explain exactly. Ma'arat HaMachpelah situated in Eretz Israel in the east part of Hevron. In the east part of Hevron, 50 kilometers from Jerusalem. That's where Ma'arat HaMachpelah situated. Now I'm going to speak about the ownership. Why we saying that Ma'arat HaMachpelah belong to us? So I'm going to bring two reasons. 3,700 years ago, Avraham Avinu bought Ma'arat HaMachpelah from Hevron HaHitti. And he paid 400 shekel over l'sahir. That means that he paid 400 shekel and a currency that you can trade anywhere in the world. And we explained it on Shabbat. Why dafka 400? Remember, we explained why dafka 400, because the middle letters of both of the name of Avraham and Hevron is 200. Together is 400. And we explain also why does he have to pay with a currency that he can trade anywhere in the world. Avraham Avinu, why he paid for. But now I'm going to move with you a bit more to Midrash Rabbah. Midrash Rabbah on Sefer Bereshit, on Parasha 79, verse 7, says something very interesting. Listen what it says. Amar Rabbi Yudian ben Simon. Rabbi Yudan ben Simon say, Shlosha mekomot. There is 3 places. En umot ha'olam yecholot leonot et Israel. That means there is 3 places that the nation of the world cannot say to the Jewish people, Gzulim em beyadchem ve'elu em. That means that there is 3 places that the nation will say to the Jewish people, you stole it from us. And they are Ma'arat HaMachpelah, Kever Yosef, that means Shechem, the city of Shechem, and Bet HaMikdash. Those are the three places that we bought it, our forefather bought it, with full money, and David HaMelech. We'll go one by one. Ma'arat HaMachpelah, we explain. Avraham Avinu paid to Hevron HaHitti 400 shekels. Kever Yosef, the grave of Yosef in Shechem, Nebleth, bought it by Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu bought Nebleth. You know where does it speak about it? In Sefer Bereshit, Parashat Vayishlach. Okay, in chapter 33, verse 19, Vayikan et Helkat HaSadeh. Here the Torah tells us that Yaakov bought Shechem. And you know how much he paid? Me'ah kishta. And that time the currency was 100 kishta. He paid for it fully. If you'll see, in the end of the shiur, you'll see that all what the UNESCO say, that all of those heritage, that we bought it, their heritage, actually the Muslim heritage. But Rabbi Yehudiah knew about it when the Midrash spoke about it over 2,000 years ago. Because they knew that the rest of the nation going to claim it. Let's move to the third part. The third part is Bet HaMikdash, Har HaMoriah. Who bought it? David HaMelech. David HaMelech bought it from Aravna Yevusi, and he paid, as it says in Sefer Divrei Hayamim Aleph. There is two books of Divrei Hayamim. In chapter 21, verse 25. Vayiten David le'Arnan, and David given Arnan, Bamakom, on the spot, Shikle Kesef, Mishkal 600. That means he weighed for him a value of 600 shekel. For Har HaMoriah, that way is the Table Mountain that they play soccer. If that's a heritage, a Jewish heritage to us, we're not allowed to walk there. But if it's a Muslim heritage and it's supposed to be holy, how come do they play soccer there? Did you see any child playing soccer in a shul? Lehavdil, lehavdil. So imagine in Bet HaMikdash that they call it that it's a Muslim heritage. And UNESCO agree with them. That was last year, by the way, in 2016. They given them that Har HaBayit and all the area, the old city, it's a Muslim heritage site. Can you believe it? So from here we see. Sorry? Moshe Dayan, yes, Mr. One Eye, yeah. So from here we see that all of those three places that Hazal tell us, that our sages tell us in the Midrash, they knew what they're talking about it 2,000 years ago. They knew that going to come a day that people will say, those places, you as a Jewish people, have nothing to do with that. Ask every Muslim, who's buried in Shechem? Yosef. Have nothing to do with a Muslim, nachon? Yosef was the son of Yaakov, the 11th son. Nothing. Bet HaMikdash. What does it have to do with them? Nothing. Nothing. That's that they build a mosque. Okay. They built. Ma'arat HaMachpelah, who's buried there? Our forefathers and the foremothers, the Holy One, have nothing to do with them. So from here we see, and one thing I don't understand, why the Israeli government didn't declare or didn't protest against that decision. Because they can still protest against that. Nothing done. For the last 4 months, nothing's done about it. Why? So I decide, that's the reason that I decide to put it in the air. Please God, this video going to be in 1 month, edited and ready, and then we put it on the air. Now I would like to speak about the structure. To look at the structure of Ma'arat HaMachpelah, and we see if there is any connection to any Muslim mosque. So the top part of Ma'arat HaMachpelah, where we go and pray, it's a perfect model. It's a perfect model, I repeat, of Bet HaMikdash. It's a perfect small model of Bet HaMikdash, if you look. And if you look at the sizes of the wall and the surrounding building, you'll see that it's exactly a perfect model. It's 60 meter lengths by 35 meter lengths. The height of the wall there is 20 meters. You remember that? It's a beautiful high wall. That is the south wall. You know what the width of that wall? 3 meters. Remember we spoke about the kotel. It's all equivalent, just in a smaller model. So we see from here that that structure actually have to do with Bet HaMikdash, nothing to do with any mosque. Now, we spoke about a cave under the cave. So where we go and pray today, we have, how would I say it? We can daven, okay? We can pray and we can daven in Kever Avraham and Sarah, and Kever Yaakov and Leah, נכון? Kever Yitzhak and Rivka we can't daven. There are certain days in the years that we can daven, that they're open for the Jewish people, all the 3 places, all the 3 areas. There is other time that it's open, all the 3 areas opening for the Muslim. For example, last Shabbos was Hayeh Shara. They say that equivalent to 60,000 people was there, and then they close everything, no Muslim allowed to come. Everything is open. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, those ones they allow.
Why do the Muslims want to go there?
Huh?
Why do the Muslims want to go there?
Why is the Muslim go to Har HaBayit? Why is the Muslim take Kever Yosef all the time? You see what they do to Kever Yosef? They keep trying to burn it, they keep trying to destroy it, they can't. Why? Why do they hate you, you know? You know why they hate you? Hazal say because you are a Jewish. You belong to the army of Hashem. That's all.
They say they belong to.
But they know the truth. Anyway.
Rabbi, they also say we killed their God.
That is Christianity.
No. That's Christianity. Okay. So if we look at the top building, I don't know how many of you take notice, there is a small hole by the grave next to Yitzhak Avinu. The size of it is 28 centimeters. In 6-day war, Moshe Dayan, after we conquered Hevron, took a young girl, Jewish girl, that was very skinny. He tied her with a rope, and he managed to push her down to the first tunnel. When she arrived on that tunnel, she described that there is a corridor of 16 meters long. After that 16 meters long, you get to a place that you can go to another tunnel. But that tunnel been blocked, and no one can go there. Inside that tunnel, inside the second tunnel, that's right down. It's very deep. Right down, that's where the grave of the forefathers. You understand? Now that we spoke about the structure, we have to understand the history of the cave. Why Dafka there? Why is it so important to us? So we know that Avraham Avinu found the cave. But we say that Adam and Hava, Adam and Eve, was buried there. Adam and Eve lived 20 generations before Avraham. And Hazal tell us, and it's brought in the Zohar, that when Sarai Menu died, Avraham Avinu gone to dig a grave. So he decided that he's going to dig a grave. Just remember, who been put to watch Gan Eden? Adam HaRishon, נכון? Avraham Avinu decided that he's going to dig a grave in the entrance to Gan Eden. Where? In Hevron. That's where he dug a grave for Sarai Menu. That's what the Zohar says. So what do we learn from here? That Hevron, and especially Ma'arat HaMachpelah, it's by the entrance of Gan Eden. Okay, so we know why Adam HaRishon. How did Avraham find it? 20 generations later, when the angel came to visit Avraham Avinu when he was sick on the third day of the Brit Milah, came 3 angels. Avraham Avinu decided to make for them a meal. So he gone to take 3 calves. For each angel, he wanted to feed them a calf. One of the calves ran away. Remember the story I told you? And Avraham Avinu chased after him. That calf into the cave of Ma'arat HaMachpelah. When he entered there, Avraham Avinu saw a huge light shining on him. And he heard a voice from heaven. Kan kvurim, here been buried, Adam HaRishon and Hava. Here, Adam and Hava been buried. Avraham Avinu was completely beyond himself, didn't understand. And the voice continued to say, Kan atidim liikaver, and here will be buried Avraham and Sarah. That's why Avraham bought Ma'arat HaMachpelah. So it's not just a grave that Adam HaRishon chose, and by mistake Avraham Avinu found it. And we explained that before Avraham bought the field of Ma'arat HaMachpelah, no one wanted to buy it. They couldn't plant. Nothing was growing there. As much that they tried to plow the ground. To plant, nothing grown there. A matter of fact, at night people used to hear strange voices. So they didn't want to buy it. So the main reason that Avraham bought it, because he knew that that's where that Adam HaRishon buried Hava. Not only that, that's right by the entrance of Gan Eden. The entrance of Gan Eden, Rabotai. So when you go to Hevron, when you go to Ma'arat HaMachpelah, you're not far from Gan Eden. Did you know that, Elik? Amazing, huh? Remember we done a shiur on Gan Eden. Where is Gan Eden? You remember? So there is Gan Eden here. Many people think that there is Gan Eden also in heaven. No, there is a Gan Eden here. Because when Adam HaRishon been born, you remember what we say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu put him le'ovda ve'leshomra, to work there and to guard that garden. Where is that? It wasn't in heaven, it was here on earth. That's what many people make a mistake. Hevron is the entrance to Gan Eden. And Ma'arat HaMachpelah is somewhere there. We don't know exactly where. Please God, when the Mashiach comes, He'll show us to us. But the main reason that I made that shiur, Rabota, is to understand that all of those heritage sites that UNESCO, the anti-Semite organization, announced last year and this year, Hazal told us in Midrash Rabbah, that that's going to be their claim, that they want it. And here we see it, 2,000 years later. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that I would like to wish all of you, especially to wish a long life to Linda, a long life. That me, please God, we'll see soon Mashiach in our days, and then He revealed to us, and He revealed to all the world, who's those heritage sites belong. And then all the world will know that all of those heritage sites belong to the Jewish people.